Alright, so you want to learn to play music, but you're not exactly sure how to start. Well, the best way to learn a new style of music is to listen to it. A lot. Particularly when you're starting out, do your best to listen to music all the time. When I was first getting into jazz in high school, I remember being told to spend more time listening to jazz than not, meaning that if you're awake for 16 hours a day, then you should be listening to music for over 8 of those hours. Now, this doesn't mean you have to maintain total focus on what you're listening to at all times, but that you should do your best to surround yourself with music as much as possible so that you can become familiar with the types of sounds that you eventually want to emulate. At this stage in the game, I personally recommend checking out a wide variety of performers in one specific genre, more so than going in depth listening to one specific artist in that genre. It's okay to have favorite performers and bands, but you don't want to narrow your field of influences and stunt the potential refining of your tastes. That said, as you explore new music, you should take mental note of the artists that immediately draw you in, so that you can check them out further later on. But by listening to a wide variety of artists within a certain genre, you start to become familiar with how they interpret the music differently, and in doing so, improve your understanding of the core style. Now obviously you don't have to limit yourself to one particular genre, and I strongly urge you to listen to as many different kinds of music as possible. But when you're trying to learn how to play a particular style of music, it helps to impose these sorts of relevancy limitations so that you can focus on what makes that type of music unique and interesting. Now, once you've become familiar with the general style of music that you're learning to play, you can begin to find your own voice within that context. Developing your own style takes quite a bit of time, and is actually a rather complex process. But the first step in finding your own voice is to determine whom your role models are, and identify what aspects of their playing you want to incorporate into your own. Remember, it's totally fine if your role models change as time passes, because what you want to communicate through your playing may change. It's only natural that our playing reflect our personal growth, and as we progress as people and mature as musicians, our voices should only become more confident and refined. In the beginning, however, I think it's beneficial to try and soak up as much as you can from all the sources that are available to you. Don't be too quick to rule out possible influences, and instead try to incorporate something you like from as many different artists as possible, as this will improve your artistic vocabulary and inform your decision-making process as you perform under new and different circumstances. Finally, since I've been talking about when, why, and what kind of music to listen to, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention anything about who to listen to. It's important to heed advice from your teachers, mentors, and even your peers. Studying music is not an easy task, and it's definitely not one that exists in a vacuum. Now, whether or not they studied formally, everybody you've ever listened to has learned from other musicians. Taking private lessons is hugely beneficial, as teachers can provide specific guidance to help you reach your potential. But I do understand that not everybody has the option of studying in person with a private instructor. Regardless, do your best to attend as many live performances as possible, and meet as many working musicians as you can, because for the most part, we're a welcoming group of people, and you can learn a lot by talking with professional musicians and asking them for advice and help. However, and this is important, when you receive musical criticism or tips from other, more experienced players, listen to them. Everything they say may not be golden, but chances are there's something to be gained from their advice. You should always look to go ahead on your own path, but realize that you can probably get to where you want to be more quickly if you pay attention to everyone's directions. After all, you have your whole career to filter certain things out of your playing, but you'll only benefit from taking things in. Anyways, let's wrap it up here for now. We'll delve more into this topic in later episodes, where we'll be back with more tips and further discourse on how to keep your cool in today's dynamic musical climate. I'm Wallace Stelzer, and thanks for watching.